Hello guys, how's it going with you? I'm Miss Rihan and today we're gonna have a revision. Our revision today it's about unit 13 and 14. Let's start it by our first part, vocabulary. Vocabulary. At the first, do you remember what is the meaning of healthy? Healthy. This is a kind of food contains vegetables and fruits. Then salad. Salad. This is food containing or tasting of salad. Then spicy, very hot. Greasy, this is oily food. Then bland. This is a kind of food having a strong or interesting taste. Then rich, kind of food containing a lot of butter or cream. Then delicious, delicious. This is a yummy food or food having a very pleasant taste or smell. Okay. Dressing, dressing, sauce used to add flavor to salads. Then desserts, desserts, sweet food eaten at the end of a meal. Then recommend, recommend, to tell somebody that something is good. Slang, informal spoken language, informal spoken language. Then service, service, help that someone gives a customer, help that someone gives a customer. Then size, amount. Parking valet, this is a restaurant or hotel employees who park your car for you. Bellhops, hotel employees who carry your bags for you. Guidelines, general rules about how to do something. Then porters, porters, people who carry your bags for you at an airport or railway stations. Service providers, service providers, people in the service industry, people in the service industry. Unit 14. Beach, beach, an area of sand beside the sea, an area of sand beside the sea. Then desert, a large area of land that has very little water and very few plants growing on it. Then forest, forest, a large area of land that's covered with trees. Then hill, hill, an area of land that's higher than the land but not as high as a mountain. Then island, island, a piece of land that's completely surrounded by water. A piece of land that's completely surrounded by water. Then lake, lake, a large area of water that's surrounded by land. A large area of water that's surrounded by land. The mountain, mountain, this is a very high hill, a very high hill. Then ocean, ocean, the mass of solid water that covers most of the earth's surface. The mass of solid water that covers most of the earth's surface. Then river, river, a large amount of liquid that's flowing in a particular direction. A large amount of liquid that's flowing in a particular direction. Valley, valley, an area of low land between hills or mountains. An area of low land between hills or mountains. Then volcano, volcano. A mountain with large opening at the top through which gases and lava are forced out into the air. Again, volcano, a mountain with large opening at top through which gases and lava are forced out into the air. Then waterfall, waterfall. A place where a river falls from a high place. A place where a river falls from a high place. SUVs. Sport utility vehicles. Vehicles, machines used for transporting people or things. Tuned up, adjusted so it works as effectively as possible. Throws away, disposes of or gets rid of. Landfills, places where large amounts of garbage are buried. Over and over again, repeatedly. Recycled, collected and treated to be used again. Low flow showerhead, a device that controls or restricts how the movement of water. Leaky, allowing water to escape even when turned off. Then let's start our second part, grammar. Now, so, to, neither, and either, or neither, either. Okay? If someone told you I can't swim, how can you agree with him? How you can say I can't swim to how you can agree with him? Okay? And the first, we have two kinds of sentence, positive and negative. With positive, we can use so or to, but with negative, we can use neither or either. Okay? Let's start it by the positive statement. At the first, we have here, I like Japanese food a lot. I am crazy about Italian food. I can eat really spicy food. Let's know that we must use so at the beginning of the sentence, but we must use to at the end of the sentence. Okay? So, if we want to use so, we must say so. If our helping verb here is am, so we must use am. But if our helping verb is can, so we must use can. But if we don't have any helping verb here, so we must use do. Do. Here I like Japanese food a lot. We don't have an helping verb here, so we must say so do I. So do I. Or I do too. I do too. Okay? Here, really, I don't like it very much. Then, I'm crazy about Italian food. I'm crazy about Italian food. Here, our helping verb, or our verb is am. Am. So, we cannot use do. We must use am. We said, so am I. So am I. Or I am too. I am too. Okay? Or I'm not. Then I can eat really spicy food. I can eat really spicy food. Okay? Here our helping verb is can. Can. So can I. So can I. Or I can too. I can too. Okay? Then, what about the negative statement? Here we have I don't like a salty food. I'm not in the mood for Indian food. I can't stand fast food. Here our helping verb is don't, but here I'm not, but here cannot. And we must say that, and we must know that we can use neither at the beginning of the sentence, but we must use either at the end of the sentence. So neither, and with neither we must put the verb positive, not negative. So neither do I, neither do I. Okay, but with either we must put the negative. I don't either, I don't either. Okay, I am not in the mood for Indian food. I am not, I am not. So neither am I, neither am I. Or I'm not either, I'm not either. Then I can't stand fast food, I can't stand fast food. Neither can I. Or I can't either, I can't either. Okay? This is a question. Write responses to show agreement with this statement, then compare with a partner. I'm not crazy about French food. I'll help you just only with the first one. I'm not crazy about French food. At the first, let's see. This is positive or negative? This is negative. So we must use neither or either, or neither or either. It's okay. Here, I am not crazy about French food. So I can say it. Neither am I, or neither am I. Okay? Or I am not either. I am not either, or I am not either. It's okay? And the second one, I can eat anything of food. I can eat anything, any kind of food, sorry. I can eat any kind of food. This sentence is positive, so we must use so or to. We can say, so can I, or I can too. Okay? Then please try to answer the first questions and I will help you to check your answers. Here model verbs would and will for requests. For requests, we can use would or will. Would or will. If we're gonna use would, so we must say it. What would you like? Would like. Okay? But what about will? We can say will have. Will have. So would like or will have. Would like or will have. What would you like? I'd like the fish and rice. Or I'll have a small salad. Then what kind of dressing would you like? I'd like blue cheese, please. Or I'll have vinaigrette. Then what would you like to drink? I'd like an iced tea. Or I'll have coffee. I'll have coffee. Would you like anything else? Yes, please. I'd like some water. No, thank you. That will be all. Okay, so would like, would like, or will have. Here, contractions, I'll, I'll, I will, I will, I'll, I will. And here, I'd, I would, I would. Okay? I'd like, I'll have. And now please complete this conversation and try to answer this, and again I will help you for the first one just only. Then please answer this question and I will help you to check your answers. Here, what space you like to order? Like, so what would you like? Here we have like, so what would you like? Okay, please try to answer all of these questions. Then comparisons with adjectives. Comparisons with adjectives. Do you know what is the meaning of adjectives? This is the word that describes a person or thing. Okay? For example, big, dry, long, tall, small, clever. Okay? At the first, let's have some examples about adjective. Long, dry, big, famous, beautiful, good, and bad. Okay? Then comparative. When we can use comparative, we can use comparative to compare between two things, two persons. Okay? We can use comparative to compare between two things or two persons. How we can use comparative? We can add er plus than to the adjective. So we can say longer than, bigger than, smaller than, taller than. Okay? We have two kinds of adjectives. The first one is short adjective and the second is long adjective. With the short adjective, we can just add er plus than. We said longer than, drier than, bigger than, taller than. But what about the long adjective? This is like famous, beautiful, expensive. How we can use the comparative here? We can just add more, more famous, more famous. Okay? More famous than, more famous than, more beautiful than. Don't add er here. We add more before the adjective, but we don't put er. Okay? So more famous than, more beautiful than. Okay? Then we have two irregular verbs. Two irregular adjectives. Good and bad. Good will change to better, better, and bad, worse, worse. Okay? Then superlative, superlative. When we can use superlative, we can use superlative to compare between more than 3 or more than 2, okay? Or to compare between something and a group of things, or person and group of persons, okay? How we can use that? We can add before the adjective the and after the adjective est. Okay, so this is like long, the longest, dry, the driest, big, the biggest. Okay, and also here we have long adjective and short adjective. With long adjective we can put the most, so the most famous, the most beautiful, okay? Then what about good and bad? Good, the best, bad, the worst, okay? And here, which country is larger? Larger, Canada or China? Canada is larger than China. Which city has the largest population? Tokyo, Mexico City, or Sao Paulo? Tokyo has the largest population of the three. Okay? What is the most beautiful mountain in the world? I think Mount Fuji is the most beautiful. Okay? Here we use comparative because we compare between two things, Canada and China. But here we use superlative because we compare between more than two. This is Tokyo, Mexico City, and Sao Paulo. And finally, here we use the most because the adjective here is long adjective. Okay? Here, complete questions 1 to 4 with comparatives and questions 5 to 8 with superlative. Then ask and answer the questions. I'll help you in the first one just only. Which country is space, Monaco or Vatican City? We must use small. Here we compare between two cities, two places, so we must use comparative. Okay, so the answer is which country is smaller, Monaco or Vatican City? Okay, then please try to answer the other questions and I will check your answers. Please write comments for me and I will check this with you. Then questions with how. Here, how to make a question by using how. At the first we can put how, then the adjective. The adjective, this is like how far, big, high, deep, long, hot, and cold. Okay? All of these called adjectives. Then we can put is or are. And this is related to the subject. If the subject is singular, we must use is. If the subject is plural, we must use are. Okay? At the first, when we can use how far? How far? We can use how far at the first if we have two countries and we want to know the distance between these two countries. How we can ask about the distance? We must use how far. How far is Cairo from Alexandria? Okay, then how big? How big? This is to know the size of the surface. To know the size of the surface. This is like how big is Egypt? How big is Egypt? Then if we see any mountain and we want to know its height, how we can ask about this? We must say how high is Mount Cook? How high is Mount Cook? Then if we want to ask about the depth of anything, how we can ask about the depth? We can say how deep is the Mississippi? How deep is the Mississippi? Then how long? How long? To ask about length. How long is the Nile River? How long is the Nile River? Then how hot? This is to ask about temperature. How hot is Cairo in the summer? How hot is Cairo in the summer? Or how cold is Alexandria in the winter? How cold is Alexandria in the winter? Here we have questions. Please try to answer this and I will check all your questions. Please write comments for me and I will help you all the time. If you have anything difficult in our units, please think for me. Okay? Thank you very much.